The Phantom of the Opera is a famous musical about love and unrequited love. Is it real? Is it based on something that actually happened? Well, apparently it is. Now, The Phantom of the Opera is based on a French novel called Le Fantôme de l'Opéra, or The Phantom of the Opera, that was written by a French writer named Gaston Leroux. It was first published as a serialization in Les Gaulois from September 23rd, 1909 to January 8th, 1910. And then it was published in volume form in April of 1910. Now, the novel is partly inspired by historical events that occurred at the Paris Opera during the 19th century. And it's centered around a former ballet pupil skeleton in Carl Maria von Weber's 1841 production of Der Frühschütz. However, it's overshadowed by the success of various stage and film adaptations that have occurred since, and the most notable being the 1925 film depiction featuring Lon Chaney and Andrew Lloyd Webber's 1986 musical. Now, the plot summary includes a young opera singer named Christine who triumphs at a gala on the night of her old manager's retirement. Her old childhood friend Raoul hears her sing and recalls his love for Christine. But at this time, there are rumors floating around of a phantom living in the opera, and that he makes himself known to the managers through letters and malevolent acts. Now, there is a prima donna named Carlotta who is involved in this plot as well. And she is the main singer, but that is against the Phantom's wishes. And during the performance, Carlotta loses her voice, and eventually the grand chandelier plummets into the audience. Christine is kidnapped by the Phantom and taken to his home in the cellars of the opera, where he identifies himself as Eric. And he plans to keep her there for several days, hoping she will fall in love with him. But Christine causes Eric to change his plans when she unmasks him. And to the horror of both, beholds his noseless, lipless, sunken-eyed face, which resembles a skull dried up by the centuries, covered in yellow dead flesh. Afraid that she will leave him, he decides to keep her forever. But when Christine requests release after 2 weeks, he agrees on the condition that she wear his ring and be faithful to him. Now the story continues on, and Christine tells Raoul that Eric has abducted her, but Raoul promises to take Christine away to a place where Eric can never find her. And he tells her he will do it the next day. However, she has pity for Eric, and she won't go until she has sung a song for him one last time. Neither is aware that Eric has been listening to their conversation and has become extremely jealous. So the following night, Eric kidnaps Christine during the production of Faust and tries to force Christine to marry him. And he states that if she refuses, he will blow up and destroy the entire opera house. She refuses and realizes that Eric learned of Raoul's attempt to rescue her and has trapped Raoul in a hot torture chamber along with the Persian. And to save them and the people above, Christine agrees to marry Eric. Eric initially tries to drown Raoul using the water, which could have been used to douse the explosives, but Christine begs and offers to be his living bride. And the story continues on. Eric eventually rescues Raoul from his torture chamber. And when Eric is alone with Christine, he lifts his mask to kiss her on the forehead and is given a kiss back. Since he's never received a kiss, he's overcome with emotion, eventually lets them escape, and he fakes his death. But it goes on. The rumor is that he lives out his life there with the help of the Persian, and his skeleton is later found. So it is based on real people. There was a lady named Christine Nielsen, and she was a Swedish operatic soprano. And she was the rival of the Victorian era's most important diva, Adelina Patti. Now, Christina Nielsen was born Christina Jonasdotter in the village of Svobol near Vaxo, Småland. And she was born to a family of peasants, but she married into a higher class. And she taught herself to play violin and flute. So she was eventually, like I said, married to a high class individual who was a Westminster Abbey, was married in Westminster Abbey to the French banker Auguste Rozaud, who later died in 1882. And then she married Angel Ramon Maria Vallejo y Miranda, the Count de Casa Miranda, who died in 1902. So there are a lot of similarities between the character Christine Daae and Christina Nielsen. Okay, now the diva, who was her rival, Adelina Patti, was a highly acclaimed 19th century opera singer. And she did have a sister named Carlotta, and some of her sisters were also singers. Her sisters Amalia and Carlotta Patti. And her brother Carlo was a violinist. So there is the rivalry, and I've just told you about some of these, or the marriage to a count that Christine married, and the high possibility that there was an Eric. Now, the author Gaston Leroux does believe that Eric existed, and apparently some people in that opera house believe it's still haunted as well. So yes, this is based on a real place, real individuals. However, we don't know if there was an Eric for sure. Rumor has it there was, but as all legend goes, there's some truth to it. So that is my brief presentation on the Phantom of the Opera. Thank you.